How's it going there, guys? Jeremy here again, Consciousness Awake. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a video, a special video just focused on Mugwort, Mugwort tea. There's a lot of people who've tried Mugwort tea to help enhance their dream state or their lucid dreaming, etc. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar already with Mugwort, and so let's talk about this. In this video, I want to talk about the allergies first, just so that you're aware of possible allergies, which is the right thing to do, obviously, right before I get into this. And then I want to talk about how I brewed my Mugwort tea, the process, show you some examples. I got some stuff right here in front of me to show you in a couple minutes. And then after that, I want to just kind of go over some of my own experiences while experimenting with the Mugwort tea and what it did with my own dream state. So let's start with allergies. First of all, most people are not allergic to Mugwort tea. Most people can drink Mugwort tea and not have any allergies to it. So don't really worry too much about it. But if you are allergic to, let's say, ragweed, there's a lot of people that can be allergic to ragweed. So you could have some kind of, symptoms and stuff that could happen if you do drink the Mugwort tea. So be aware of those things. If you don't know, then just drink like half an ounce or just like 1 ounce of Mugwort tea, just like steeped. Again, what I did, I did not steep my Mugwort. I did something else, and I'll explain why I did it the way I did it, and etc. So yeah, allergies now out of the way. Let's move on. So Mugwort, when I make the tea, now mind you, I have not been using Mugwort my whole life. I barely ever tried it throughout my life, but then recently, from talking to a couple other channels and people in the community, I decided to do my own experiment with it. So everything I'm talking about right now is kind of like a current experiment that I've done in the last couple months. And again, I'll explain why I brewed the Mugwort the way I chose to in just a second. But when I make the tea, I'm using all the leaves, and I'm using the stems. I think it's important to also use the stems. There's some smaller stems, little flimsy stems, and then there's like kind of some like really big, thicker pieces of stems. Can't really find any right now. I think I use most of those, but there's like a little one there. It's kind of hard to see it. But so yeah, you're using all of it. And what I did, since Mugwort is considered to be a diuretic, so it makes you go to the bathroom a lot, it makes you pee a lot, especially if you drink like a big cup or two cups of it or something, steeped. That might really make you go to the bathroom a lot while you're sleeping and wake you up too much. So what I chose to do was boil the Mugwort down to a more potent tea, so that way it's more potent, but you're consuming a less amount of ounces before going to sleep at night, to put less fluid, less water into your body before going to bed. So let's get into this. What I did was I just have this this measuring cup that I use when I'm cooking, and so what I did was I put 2 cups of water into a pot, and I got it to boil. And then once it started to boil, I just dumped essentially like a whole handful of stems and dried leaves right into the boiling water, and then put the lid on. Okay, don't forget, always put the lid on. And then I boiled the water down until it was 2 cups originally, and I boiled it down to where it'd be about half a cup, which is about there. So I started with that much, and I boiled it like 3/4 of the water off. And so what happens is when you boil it down, and mugwort is not heat sensitive. You're not doing anything bad to the mugwort if you're steeping it or if you're boiling it down. So that means you can do a boil down process to make it just more potent and to drink less amount of fluid. Because again, it's a diuretic. So when I boil it down, it gets to like a really kind of a, not really black, but just a really dark brown kind of color. You can't see through the cup at all. It's dark enough to where you can't see through the cup basically, but it's not quite black. So if you steep mugwort, like how people usually make tea, you know, it's clear enough to where you can see through. You can see through the glass, right? So obviously it's not as potent. This is more potent, and it's look at the consistency of that cup. All right. So this is the reason why I did this, was so that I can just drink like a shot of it or like 2 ounces of it. So before going to sleep, what I would do is just drink exactly 2 ounces, which is about that much. So that's how much I had. And then I would drink that, and then I would also take another shot, or about 2 ounces worth, and I would just put it under my tongue for like a minute, and just swish it around so that the receptors in my tongue were absorbing some additional mugwort tea and putting that into my system, into my bloodstream. So drink a shot, and swish a shot under the tongue and spit, and I spitted it out. So that's pretty much what I was doing. And then also, again, since it is a diuretic, even just drinking a shot it made me get up to go to pee around 3-4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. Typically, I do not need to get up at night to use the bathroom, just rarely. But with this, I noticed it was like routine, you know, like about 4 a.m. and I had to go to the bathroom. So what I did was I would go to the bathroom, I'd go back to the kitchen, and I'd grab another shot, and I would again swish it and keep it under my tongue for like a minute, and then just spit it out, not drink it. And then I'd go back to sleep, right? And so if you have any questions about how I boiled it down or the amounts, email me, leave in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So effects, yes, mugwort tea, especially the way I did it, definitely did a lot of stuff and enhancements and things to my dream state that I sometimes don't typically experience. But it's very consistent. The tea is very consistent. Anytime I took it, I always had the enhancements or something different every time. So it's a very consistent brew, witch's brew. They used to call it a witch's brew. I also wanted to read something too before I get into my own experiences. The big bag of mugwort I would get from the guy down at the crystal shop. He has a metaphysical section, of course, and all that. And on the back of the bag, I took off the little label thing. I put it on this mason jar where I keep it in, and it actually says on there, often used to protect against evil spirits, mugwort is believed to also dispel fatigue from traveling and aids in astral travel, dreaming, lucid dreaming, and divination work. So that's what it actually says on the label. But yeah, but definitely it enhances your dreams. So how does this work? So, I mean, what do I mean by enhance? First of all, I dream a lot. I have a lot of dreams every single day. I remember multiple dreams every time I wake up in the morning. So what the mugwort does is it kind of just gets you to that next level, so to speak. And so if your dreams aren't vivid enough, it makes your dreams more vivid. If your dreams aren't long, they're short, it makes your dreams more prolonged dream states. If you wake up in the morning typically and you don't remember your dreams, then you will start to remember like the last dream you had. Enough recall memory to jot down something in a journal or on your computer or on your notepad, on your phone or whatever. So it gets you to that next level for sure. So if you're already having really long dreams and very vivid dreams, it will increase that and make it even more vivid. Mind you that for me, it helped with lucid dreaming, and it helped with especially vividness and the surrealness of the dream. But sometimes when your dreams become, when they mimic this world, this reality, this earth matrix, when the dream is so vivid and mimics your real life, it actually becomes harder to become lucid in dreams because you're not really questioning the dream simulation as much. So like for me, lucid dreaming happens for me a lot when I question the odd or strange things, the out of place things that are in the dream scene, in the dream simulation. That helps me become lucid. I start questioning things. So mind you, yeah, so if it's becoming super vivid as I experience, it doesn't make you question anything as much, and you're just kind of like an observer, observing the dream and riding along with the dream scene. So my experiences were very interesting. So in one morning, so what happened was it was 4 in the morning. I went pee. I got up and peed, and then did the extra shot on the tongue and spit it out. Went back to sleep, and when I started dreaming, my dream started very vivid and surreal, and I woke up in a bed, and I don't know what house it was or what bed it was, just random, and I just like lived out a very realistic, something that mimicked my regular life. A really long dream from the morning, waking up, going to work, engaging with certain dream characters, etc. That was just so realistic and so surreal, and then it getting dark in the dream, and then getting like sleepy and tired like in regular life, and then feeling the need in the dream state to go lay down in bed again and go to sleep. I've had those kind of dreams before, but the mugwort made it like extra vivid, extra like prolonged, and then I woke, then I would fall asleep in that dream bed and then wake up in a different bed, in a different, house, different dream scene, but the same thing, waking up in a bed, but waking up lucid, waking up knowing that I was in a dream, and that I wasn't waking up in my regular bedroom in my house, right? And then immediately I got up and just started doing whatever, because when you're lucid, you can do whatever you want to do, as long as you can prolong that lucidity. You can do whatever you want to do. But what I noticed was that as that dream, started, and I'm doing the lucid dreaming thing in that dream, I was really grounded. I didn't have to do any grounding techniques to center myself, my consciousness in that dream body, because I was actually even thinking about my physical body sleeping in bed, and even remembering drinking the mugwort tea and doing all of that, and being very aware of being in 2 locations at the same time, that bilocation kind of mind experience. But my physical body wasn't even like trying to reel or pull me back into it in any way. I felt very grounded. So it's almost like it enhanced the vividness of my dreams, and it also enhanced how I'm grounded when becoming self-aware and lucid in a dream. And I noticed those 2 enhancements for me, and other nights too, not just the one I'm talking about now. But in this lucid dream, what was really interesting though is it kept going. So I had like a whole day's worth of stuff, and I didn't go back to my body, or wake up in my human body. I stayed in the lucid dream, and then I got tired. I got tired and sleepy, and I went back to sleep, lucid in the dream bed, and then I woke up again. But I woke up in the bed that was in the previous dream, where I was just an observer, and it was just a vivid dream. I was not lucid. So I went from vivid dream, prolonged, waking up in a different bed, lucid dream, prolonged, and then getting tired and going back to bed, and waking up back in the previous dream that I had, initially, but I wasn't lucid. I was back in that observing mode and just being within that vivid dream mode and not questioning anything or anything like that. And then after I woke up, normally after that, in my human body in this reality, I was just so astonished to a certain degree to how these dream simulations and there's different realities and just everything in general, how they mimic each other in some way. You know, if you understand what I'm saying. But anyways, peace. I'm at 15 minutes. I don't want to make a too long a video, guys. We talked about some stuff here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Like the video if you found it to be helpful. Peace.